Ozempic has exploded in popularity as both a diabetes and a weight loss drug, but now it's at the center of a legal blowback kind of situation. More than 1,800 lawsuits have been filed over adverse side effects, with the liability estimated at more than $2 billion. Our legal expert, Whitney Traylor, is here to break this down. So let's talk first about the claims against Ozempic.
Yeah. So we went back to school. So all these 1L students that just started law school, you're going to be learning about this stuff. This is a civil tort is what we're dealing with. So this is product liability, complex civil litigation, mass tort liability. And essentially they're saying that, hey, you marketed this drug and you downplayed, they're claiming that they downplayed the potential harm that it would cause, and it's causing these very severe side effects. And so people are now bringing these lawsuits. There's a bunch of, if you go online, you'll see a bunch of law firms just highlighting this case in particular. And actually it was over 1,800, but as of this morning, I think it's 2,100. So there's been another 300 cases just in the last week.
So it's growing rapidly. How are the damages decided? Is it individually based? Do they look at the side effects? Like how does that even get decided on?
Yeah, well, that's why we have a jury system. And so the jury actually looks at that and they will decide a number of different factors. So, there's a number of terrible side effects. Some people are going blind. They're having intestinal issues. Their digestive issues, just some really severe type of issues. And the jury will come back and decide and say, hey, we think this is what it's worth. And so you have to calculate both the physical damage, the emotional distress, the loss of consortium. Then if people can't go to work, their lost wages, if they can't provide for their family. So it's going to be different for different folks depending on the severity of their
Does it matter
issue.
how many people join the lawsuit? I mean, I've always wondered about that.
Great point.
Sometimes you get like $25. Like sometimes you'll get something from the phone company. You're due $20,
Yeah, that's a great point, because the ultimate settlement might be millions or even billions. But you make a good distinction. That's really a class action lawsuit where there's going to be one settlement.
Which is different.
This is different. This is called multi-district litigation, which is similar in that a lot of the cases are being consolidated actually in the Eastern District of Pennsylvania, and then they're going to go through sort of a one discovery process. So they're going to have a bunch of experts and they're going to figure out a lot of that, but then the cases can go forward individually. So there still will be a number of folks who have individual claims, and some of these damages they're saying are permanent, and so they're estimating 300, 500 grand. Some will be worth less. The people who lost their vision, I think they're saying over $1 million. So it's going to depend on each case.
How do you put a number on your vision or any of these cases, right? It's going to depend on that individual, but how does it work where if there's somebody that's affected right now, how do they know that they're even eligible?
Right. So one, they'll have to have had the prescription. Then they'll have to have had some of these symptoms, which, as I said, they're very serious: intestinal blockage, persistent vomiting and dehydration, gallbladder inflammation, pancreatitis, kidney injury, all these type of things. So you'll have to go, and you're going to have some doctor support. These are expert, intense lawsuits, right? And so you have those issues, and then if you're within the statute of limitations, which is going to depend on what state you're in, but generally that's 1 to 3 years, then you'll be a candidate. And if you go, if you just Google this lawsuit, if some of you are actually thinking about it, like I said, there's so many law firms that take it, and they have a frequently asked questions page. So the information is out there, very easy to obtain.
So is there a time frame, and then when does this thing move forward? What's the next step?
I don't think we're going to see any cases actually go to trial before 2026. They're in the discovery phase now. Yes, as my mom likes to say, the wheels of justice turn slowly.
Yeah, I do.
But they do turn. Most of these kind of cases settle. But of course, Ozempic is fighting it. They're saying, hey, we didn't promise these things. They're calling it puffery. That's a legal term of art where it's like, this is the greatest car you'll ever drive. They don't actually mean that. That's what's called puffing or puffery. So they're gonna fight it. They're gonna fight with the experts. It will still likely settle because it's going to be so expensive to go forward and there's going to be so many litigants. But there's something called the single recovery principle. So if you have negative impacts 15 years from now, you can't keep suing over and over. So that's up to your lawyer and the doctors to say, hey, I think you're going to have these long-term effects. So you get one opportunity, one bite at the apple, and now is your time. So probably we'll start seeing cases go to trial next year if they go, but I think there's a high probability of settlement.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow. Well, they've made a lot of money, so.
True.
If they're looking at $2 billion in damages,
I think they're good for it.
yes.
I think they're good
yes,
for
I
something.
think so.
Thank you.
Right.